Gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the champion of our leader, His Excellency, Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali.
Thank you all. Thank you very much, please. Thank you so much. First of all, allow me to recognize all the distinguished people in the room, our diplomats, industry leaders, members of the private sector, Member of Parliament and Head of Go Invest, and of course the dynamic leadership in the private sector today. I want to say that we have had great leadership in the private sector, but there is a level of energy in the private sector today that I welcome, and a very forward-looking, innovative private sector. And I look forward to working with all of you as we build a strong, resilient, and sustainable Guyana. Strength must be matched with resilience and sustainability in this changing global environment. So I want to first, before I even go any further, to thank all of those who supported me and my government in just concluded elections, and to urge those who may not have supported us yet to use the next 5 years to finalize their decision when that time comes for the next elections. We're going to do great things together. We're going to build a magnificent future for Guyana, and we're going to create deep footprints in the global system, I assure you that. I therefore want to thank the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry for the kind invitation extended to me to participate in an energy breakfast. And you know, you get your energy for the day from breakfast. I hope that they had some good ground provision and you had some good Guyanese fruits. If you did not have that, then I'll be very disappointed. In Guyana, when we speak about the energy sector, it connotes the imagery of a Guyana bursting at the seams with oil and gas. But that is not the ideal picture that we want to embrace. Oil must be must be looked at as just an instrument. You know, when Guyana first struck oil, someone joked with me that every Guyanese would soon have their own oil well in their backyard. I told that person, careful what you wish for. You can't fry fish with crude oil. Oil alone wouldn't cook our food, wouldn't educate our children, wouldn't provide the best health care possible, wouldn't build our businesses. It takes planning, discipline, and vision to translate oil wealth into development. And this is why planning, discipline, and vision are so important in our context. I therefore want to begin with what I have called Vision 2030, because it is this vision that drives our efforts and guides our action. So I want you to imagine a nation where every household has reliable electricity, not just from oil, but from hydropower, solar, and natural gas. Imagine modern highways connecting regions like arteries, carrying the lifeblood of commerce and culture. Imagine schools preparing children, not just to pass exams, but to thrive in a digital world. Imagine a healthcare system where no mother has to choose between affordability and quality. Imagine a society where prosperity is not the privilege of a few, but the entitlement of all. Imagine thriving businesses. Imagine a country where the socioeconomic gaps between the rural and urban, and between hinterland and urban areas are narrowed, where poverty is a thing of the past, where distance and class does not deny opportunities. That is the Guyana we are working towards. That is the Guyana we must power into being. Oil and gas are important to that vision. They will provide the resources and the opportunities for us too. But the real question before us is simple. Will we allow oil to shape our destiny, or will we shape our destiny with oil? Few countries in modern times have been blessed with a sudden transformative discovery that Guyana has experienced. Our oil and gas sector has catapulted us from the margins of global attention to the center of international energy conversations. Oil revenues are already funding schools, hospitals, roads, water treatment plants, and bridges. They're financing transformative projects that were once only dreams. But for us, oil is not an end in itself. It is a means to an end. It is a means of accelerating, a catalyst, a stepping stone. If oil is the fuel, then sustainable development must be the destination. And yet, let us not fall prey to illusions. History is filled with nations that struck oil but lost their way. What is referred to the Dutch disease, the curse of corruption, the widening gap between rich and poor, these are the pitfalls we must guard against. That is why transparency, accountability, and prudent governance are non-negotiable. That is why the Natural Resource Fund exists, to ensure that this blessing does not become a burden. As we spend today, we must also save for tomorrow. Oil may enrich a nation, but if mismanaged, it can impoverish us. The real test of good governance lies in how we convert oil revenues into engines of growth across the wider economy. That is where the private sector comes in. Because no matter how well we save or how wisely we manage, it is business that transforms wealth into work, into commerce, into opportunity. And the government role is to create that enabling environment. The government role is to develop the policy framework that support the expansion of businesses, that support innovation, that support transformation, and that support quality jobs. The business community has an important role to play in translating wealth into opportunities and improved standard of living. The beating heart of any economy is the business community. Oil is opening doors, yes, but we must not be content with simply walking through those doors. We must build new ones. That is why we're embracing bold and innovative ideas like Silica City, developing a tourism sector that will be second to none. Someone asked me recently if Guyanese businesses are ready for the oil economy. I told them, well, we are ready in spirit. Some folks are already erecting buildings, expanding businesses, building out to meet the opportunities. But readiness is more than dreams. It is about skills, partnerships, and wealth creation. Otherwise, the opportunities will come and pass us by. We must prepare, not just dream. The construction sector, tourism, agriculture, manufacturing, ICT, and commerce are all benefiting from oil's multiplier effect. Local content legislation ensures that Guyanese businesses are not left out of the value chain. Consortia of local firms allows us to compete with global giants. This is why I've always said that the real wealth of Guyana will not only flow from beneath the sea, but from creativity, from the creativity of our people on land. And this is why the business community must ask itself, will we be mere suppliers to an oil industry, or will we be creators of industries of our own? I will be working with the local private sector and international partners to ensure that we develop our capability and capacity in crude oil trading. We must be able to trade our crude oil from Guyana with the infrastructure, with the human capital, and with the market skills. And that is going to create enormous opportunities for us. And we have to short-circuit this. So we have to get those who have already done it for other countries to work with us in transferring the knowledge. Maybe to enter a partnership for the next 3, 4, 5 years until we get the experience to do it on our own. These are the bold decisions that we must embrace. These are the bold ideas that will take us from where we are to where we want to be. Social equity must guide our policies. No group, no village, no hinterland community must be left behind, because development is not real until it is inclusive. Development is not measured by barrels of oil pumped, but by the dignity of lives uplifted. A mother told me recently that her little boy asked her, "Mommy, when Guyana finished pumping out all the oil, what will it do?" She told him, "Well, son, hopefully we'll have pumped enough wisdom in our heads to build other industries by then." The message in that conversation is serious. Oil is temporary, but sustainability is forever. You must use oil to build for the future, not deny the future to spend oil. This brings me to the issue of sustainability. Guyana cannot chase short-term gains and mortgage its future. Our development pathway must be in harmony with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, including SDG 7, affordable and clean energy, SDG 8, decent work and economic growth, SDG 9, industry, innovation, infrastructure, SDG 13, climate action, where we're protecting our forests and leading, SDG 14 and 15, life below water and on land. Our mission over the next 5 years and beyond is to prove that oil wealth and sustainability can walk hand in hand. Because what good will be a prosperous Guyana in 2030 if it is unlivable in 2050? And this brings me back to Vision 2030. By 2030, we must have an economy that is diversified, a workforce that is skilled, an energy mix that is cleaner, and a society that is resilient. Guyana must be and will be an example not of the resource curse, but of the resource blessing. We must show the world that it is possible to produce oil whilst protecting our forests, to grow wealth while growing equity, to power industries while powering people. And this brings me to another point. Too often we speak of businesses as if their role is simply to seize opportunities and to generate jobs and maximize profits. Yes, that is important. But in this new Guyana, businesses must see themselves as more than these. Business must see themselves as important social responsibility as important entities in the story of transformation. They must see themselves as mini engines of sustainable development. Every contract signed, every dollar invested, every job created must move us closer to our national vision. The private sector must be a partner in climate action, in community upliftment, in innovation, in nation building. Business is not just about counting profits. It is about multiplying possibilities. And today, I want us to focus in your own discussions on how we multiply the possibilities and opportunities with our investments. In the next 5 years, we'll continue to build out an economy driven by modern infrastructure. We are so concentrated on the Demerara River Bridge that will be opened on Sunday that we forgot about many other key infrastructure. Yesterday, I was standing on a New Hope Bridge. There was a time when the most transformative investment and breathtaking investment was the Old Hope Bridge. And the naysayers are around, and you know me, I'm very frank with what I have to say. When we built the Hope Canal, they doubted us. When we said we'll finish the Demerara River Bridge, all kinds of remarks were made. Today, we are building that economy that is powered by modern infrastructure. This year, not only will we complete the Demerara River Bridge and the new highways, but we will also start the new Berbice River Bridge. We'll complete the Wisma Bridge, and we will also commence the Kurupukari Bridge, because these are critical infrastructure. Just as we have also quietly completed all the bridges almost along the Linden-Lethem Trail. We are also going to create the bridge between Timeri and Sand Hills, going all the way to Makaura. The new 4-lane road from Wales all the way to Parika. The Del Conte Road that has already started, going all the way to Goshen. The continuation of the 4-lane road from Mahaika all the way to Rosignol. Then the 4-lane road from New Amsterdam to Molson Creek. And hopefully with Suriname we can finalize the Quarantine River Bridge. The future will see the road completed to Lethem. And as I speak to you, we are working on the final phase, to move towards the final phase of the deepwater port in Berbice, which will see the design completed. And then we will move towards construction. Whilst all of that is happening, the private sector is investing heavily in the Demerara ports, creating new opportunities and advancing our development. You will see an economy driven by knowledge. We must have the most competent and highly developed workforce in Guyana, in every sector. That is why we are talking to Northwell, to have them bring their Northwell Nursing School and Medical School here in Guyana, so we'll have an international product. We'll have our own law school, free university education. One of the finest technical institute and technical centers in Port Moran. Matt, I don't know if he's here. in Port Moran, specializing in deep sea operation, one among maybe 10 in the world. So the economy will be powered by modern infrastructure, knowledge, AI, and digitization. And I'm going to complete work with EY to do a full assessment on the value chain of having AI investment backed by data center that is of a scale that it must be the largest in the region so that we can be a net provider of data centers facility in this region. We must not follow. We're going to invest in it to be leaders in it. We have to leapfrog our system. We have to leapfrog digitization to make 30 years of digitization, 30 years of modernization occur in the next 5 years. And it's not a question as to whether it will be done. There is no other choice. It must be done. And by the will of God, we will get it done. The economy must be driven by broad-based economic expansion. That is why we are building out industrial parks, manufacturing, agro-processing. I had a meeting already with all the private sector representatives across the country. I told them about all the opportunities, and I hope they will discuss those opportunities with you. Because we don't have the time to scale up from zero. I asked them to go and find the partners and bring the partners with them so we can cut the chase to results. And I want the private sector to adopt this new approach. Don't wait. Let us go and find the partners with the technology, the innovation, the success, and bring them with us so that we can get to these opportunities as fast as possible. The government is ready to back the investment. That is why I said there is no reason why Letem must not be a major agro-processing and packaging zone with who is our neighbor. It takes will, determination, a new approach, a new culture. It takes partnership. And that is what we want. An economy that is driven to ensure we have food dominance. We are humble about this, but let me make it very clear. We want an economy that celebrates in this region food dominance, energy dominance, and climate dominance. That is why we are bringing the best. With Bloomberg grains, we will cut the chase to certification. We'll cut the chase to markets. We intend to ensure Guyana create a space for food dominance. They doubted us when we spoke about corn and soya. I still see the images and the words written. Spoke about red beans and black beans. They doubted us. We're going to ensure that the future economy position Guyana to be the economy with food dominance, energy dominance, climate dominance, and a modern maritime ecosystem. Because that is big business opportunities. We're going to position our SMEs. Already I have the technical team working with government to have by next week the draft proposal on a development bank, as we had promised. We have the team working with cabinet members, Minister of Finance, on modernizing the financial sector. In 3 weeks, that report will come to us as to how we modernize our banking sector, the creation of a modern stock exchange, and options for capital mobilization. Many people are speaking about diaspora bonds and all of these. All of these options will be examined. We have to be able, in the shortest time frame, to ensure every Guyanese have a bank account, even if the government must incentivize the opening up of those bank accounts. So a modern economy that is powered by a modern financial sector, one in which efficiency, reliability, and results drive our governance, and importantly, very importantly, I want you to know that the Guyana we are building is one in which we will cement our place as a regional and global leader. We will cement our place as a regional and global leader. So let us commit, government, private sector, civil society, and citizens alike, to ensuring that when history judges us, it does not say that Guyana had oil. Let it say that Guyana had vision, that Guyana had courage, and that Guyana had the wisdom to power a sustainable future for all. Because if we use today's wealth to build tomorrow's foundation, then Guyana will not just be rich in oil, but rich in opportunity, rich in equity, and rich in hope. Forward together for a better Guyana. May God bless all of you.
Immediate past President Kester Hudson, past presidents in the room, Timothy Tucker, Kamal Ramnath, and Vishnu Durga, members of our council, members of the Executive Management Committee, guest presenters, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to greet you this morning at what is now our inaugural event, our first Energy Inside Breakfast. We have always had a breakfast event, but this has been our first energy event. And most of you would remember that we would have reached out to you for a luncheon, but I had no idea that so many people in the private sector is willing to have breakfast with me. So we decided to go this morning. So thank you for being here. Before we start this morning proceeding, I want to pose a few questions to each of you here, particularly our entrepreneurs. Where do you see yourself in 20 years? Where do you see your business in 20 years? And finally, what are you doing to ensure that your business not only survives but grows and strives for the next 20 years? Sustainability, ladies and gentlemen, has been a word I'm getting very familiar with and getting very comfortable with. It's more than just a buzzword. It speaks to our very survival and future. And this is why we are here in the room today, powering Guyana's future. Guyana's path to sustainable development is a theme of today's discourse, and it is crucial, it's a crucial topic. This year, we saw a national budget of $1.38 trillion. Last year, it was $1.1 trillion. In 2023, it was $781 billion, and in 2022, it was $552 billion, and I guess you know where I'm going. So I don't need to continue for you to see the pattern. there was a vast increase, and you don't need me to tell you the figure to know that the government is investing heavily into this country. You see it as you drive around. Many of you were late this morning, but you got here on time because of our good roads, improved infrastructure, a booming construction sector, and a rapidly growing business sector. As a proud Guyanese and the president of this esteemed organization, it gives me great pride to witness President Ali's intentional strategy approach to investment and in our country, not only in the oil and gas sector, but equally in positioning Guyana's non-oil sector for sustainable growth and development. Last month, Guyana announced that since 2015, the company and its contractors have spent over $600 billion with Guyanese businesses. We are happy for that. We are very happy for that. And to add to that, some 1,800 Guyanese are currently working offshore and are employed onshore. And we are happy that Exxon is taking the time to intentionally invest in Guyanese. But as an entrepreneur, as we look forward to growth, my intention is to also discuss further with Exxon as to how more Guyanese can benefit from the growth and development of this country. So how do we continue on this growth path and so do in a sustainable manner? What are the plans for Guyana's future as we power forward this development pathway? And how do we develop and position our businesses to support this development while we benefited from economic transformation? In a few days, we will have a new Demerara Harbor Bridge, supporting efficient transportation while complementing the time and money-saving impact of our many new roads. We are all eagerly anticipating the reduced cost of electricity with the gas-to-energy project. As we channel our energies into transforming this country, diversifying the economy, and fueling development, we are all keen on what course of action we should take to keep abreast with this evolution. In that spirit, we have also seen decisive action from His Excellency in addressing Guyana's foreign exchange challenges. These steps reinforce the administration commitment to macroeconomic stability as we scale up national development. They show that we are not only building physical infrastructure, but also strengthening the financial architecture that underpins sustainable growth. And I know as Guyanese, we all would welcome some forex in the country. So we are grateful that Our Excellency have listened to us, he has heard us, and he have decided to put measures in place that will benefit Guyanese. Yes, yes, thank you, Samantha. The Chamber has continuously focused on building the capacity of our members to meet the needs and demand of Guyana's evolving business landscape, while also connecting our members to opportunity. Even as we embark on this mission of empowering our entrepreneurs, we understand that those questions I posed earlier are on the minds of many, and we thought it important to bring key stakeholders into the room to answer these burning questions. We are especially grateful for the presence and members of the Diplomatic Corps. This morning, Guyana enjoys a warm, productive relationship with our international partners, and their presence here today is a testament of the deepening of those ties. These partnerships are not only strengthening investment and trade, but also reinforcing Guyana's role on the regional and global stage. The GCCI is currently collaborating with several offices to complete a number of important missions. In particular, we are preparing for our upcoming engagement in Canada, New York, Washington, D.C., where we will connect with the energy sector, engage with our diaspora communities in Canada, Brooklyn and Queens, and meet with various international agencies in Washington, D.C. Mr. President, just like you, I am strongly in support of joint ventures and consortiums right here in Guyana. The president has said it many times, and I also endorse, we don't have to travel to go and find business opportunity. But there are a lot of Guyanese who are abroad, and they want to be part of the growth and development of Guyana, and the GCCI would be at the forefront to ensure that happens. So for those who want to come back, we want to be the avenue that they use. If they don't want to come back, they want to send the money, we also want to be the avenue that they're going to use. So we are going to meet them. We have His Excellency here, President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali, who will provide insight into the government's policy and roadmap to the future, as well as key industry players. They're all seated at the front here, who will bring brief remarks and framework for local content utilization and development. I look forward to a fruitful, candid, and meaningful discourse this morning. Thank you all for having breakfast with us. I hope the breakfast was well. So when I reach out again next year for another breakfast, I hope to see the same enthusiasm in the room. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.